Good morning, America. This is the South Report, and today we will announce the reality behind the Congress elections.
There is evidence that the KKK have been involved in this year's elections.
That is right. This group has engineered a couple of elections in states like Atlanta and Memphis. Even more, they have enough Klansmen involved in the government of states such as Alabama and Tennessee.
Yes, hard to believe. There is enough men inside the government to gain power and control over each state. Easily said, there are just few places to be safe for those who oppose their ideas, and especially if you're considered as a target.
Furthermore, there has been an increase in the activity of the groups. There are more violence and death concerning the KKK. The only thing is to wait for the government's response.
What started as a joke 100 years ago, when a group of men donned bedsheets for a romp, has over the years attracted to it persons charged with acts of harassment, intimidation, and violence throughout the South.
This is the South Report, and today we're standing outside one of the victims' houses who got destroyed and burned last night by the KKK. Yes, last night a group of 50 men gathered wearing white robes, masks, and conical hats while carrying burnt crosses. Together they broke into an African-American family's house and killed the father while he was trying to protect her daughters. The rest of the family was taken outside and forced to watch how they destroyed their home while being tied up. After destroying all the property, the Klansmen left and kept the family in the ground as well as their dead father. Later that morning, cops found them all and took them to the police station while they looked for a shelter. Here's a video of one of the neighbors who watched the atrocity. Here with Mr. Johnson, who saw the attacker last night. So Mr. Johnson, tell us what you saw yesterday.
Well, first of all, it was devastating and violent what I saw last night. It was pretty shocking. Most of the men were wearing white robes, and Mr. Morris, he's one of my best friends. His house got all burned and all his stuff were destroyed. And what was shocking is that he got shot in the head twice.
Mr. Johnson, do you recognize any of them?
Absolutely not. They were all disguised. I couldn't see any of their faces, and all the neighborhood was scared, and nobody could have seen their faces.
That was very unfortunate. But right now, what is one thing you could tell to the government?
I just need a nation. I just need a state that could help us. We just want equal protection. Me as an African American, I want to be protected with my friends, and we are basically scared, and we don't want to die, and we just want a state to involve at any circumstances, and in order to secure us.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for speaking up. It was a pleasure. Today we have with us Mr. Donaldson Trumpet, the President.
Good morning, Valerie.
Good morning. So, today, May 27th, 1924, the President has announced that a new law has been passed. The new law is called the KKK Act. This act disbands the secret society which permits every African American and religious group to have equal protection.
Over the past couple of weeks, there has been an increase of violence in the South. In order to stop further attacks, it was our responsibility as the leaders of this nation to ensure protection for all its residents. No violence will ever be tolerated by any groups. Racism is intolerable, and it should be stopped at all costs.
It is true, the Klan has gained more members over this past month.
Yes, the membership of this secret organization has increased from 3 million to 8 million people. Their size has ensured them enough power to dominate some local and state governments. Now, within several weeks from now, for elections, there are senators and congressmen who are allies or part of the Klan.
What further action is the government taking?
Is it to continue enforcing and creating more acts that will eliminate extralegal violence and protect the civil and political rights of the freed slaves? In extreme cases, it is possible to deploy the military, suspend habeas corpus, or any other means necessary to stop this behavior.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Hey. the police! Drop your weapons!
The KKK came to dominate the electoral politics in states like Indiana and even helped on governors to being elected, including Oregon's Walter Pierce. And in some ways also got to control the state legislatures in the western states of Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado, and Oregon.
That is right. I have heard that Klan politicians were either Republican or Democrats, and the Democratic Party was the most involved and linked to the Klan. For example, the mayor of Kent, David Lippert, and Bellingham City Attorney Charles B. Sampley, or the mayor of Blaine, Alan Keith, and Wapto's director of schools, Frank Sutton. Both were part of the Klan. Given that the Klan is a secret society, it is hard to differentiate Klan allies from Klan members, and it is likely that many other local elected officials in Washington state were Klan members.
Let's take a look inside the Washington government. Congressman Albert Johnson of Washington was deeply involved in the KKK and politics of that state.
He was the man responsible for passing the 1924 most strict immigration law in American history.
Well, strictly only the Lord.
Time magazine noted that in 1924, the Johnson's immigration restriction law was generally supported by the West and South, admittedly with the backing of the KKK. One of the KKK's top political priorities was the renomination and re-election of Representative Albert Johnson of Washington, so he could continue to be the chairman of the House Committee on Immigration and fight for restricting immigration laws. It isn't certain that Johnson was ever part of the Klan, however, he did have their support. In 1922, Klan's money-hungry Kliegels, or organizers, were busy enlisting members and forming local clans, or chapter units, in every part of the nation. As one of the most influential leaders in Atlanta, Georgia, also known as the Imperial Wizard, William J. Simmons, the founder of the largest organization of Klansmen, ruled.
Absolutely, the Klan grew wealthy, gained a lot of power, these bitches, and talked to the press. One of my sources even told me they made profits of $40,000 a month.
They had enough people and power and money to control the government of a single state.